crowd. You all feeling pretty excited for this game number 2? Let's get ready here to hop on into it. Team Spirit facing off against LGD, not wanting to drop down into that lower bracket, hoping to push it to a game number 3. And as Crit said, he heckin' loves Storm Spirit. Dial though, is this going to be a good Storm game?
Keeps winning a lot of games here at the Major, I'll tell you that much.
He also has a nice lane matchup versus Void. It's generally a pretty easy one for Storm. The Void is good versus physical damage with his block, but the Storm is all magic. So he's going to be able to kind of zone him out of the lane, but I wouldn't see it being a too one-sided matchup.
Oh my goodness, 82%. That's with 88 on Dire. I mean, Dire's good, but apparently Storm is even better. Holy moly.
I think the biggest question right now is this Dawnbreaker. We've seen her used a lot in this tournament, even the previous tournament. To great success. They kind of always stop these lanes. He is a Shaker, and one of the big things Shaker does as a support is he blocks the lane backwards. And he kind of pulls it close to your tower, so you have a lot more lane pressure, you have a lot more kill threat. And with Dawn's one of the best heroes to get these lane pressures in these kill threat lanes.
Yeah, she absolutely uses that space that you get from the Fishers with that long jump that you have with the hammer into a Starbreaker. And, you know, maybe you're worried in some lanes where there's going to be a stun that can stop that, but Fisher might even be able to block that out too. So some concerns, but Maposhka is going to have the Clockwork, one of the more stalwart position 5s at the moment, so we'll do his best to try and give Yadro a good lane and try and contest this top room, but force back.
Yeah, and on the other side also not wanting to go up there and run into the Dawnbreaker. It's going to be 2 apiece. They just give it up on the TA.
You can see why here. Hopping, sproinking his way back down that bottom lane. He's going to be very disappointed, though. He's going to come by 1 camp and see an Observer ward, another camp, a Sentry ward. Small camp also blocked by Sentry, and I'm sure Amir is going to do his best to body block as well there. So tons of...
the entire jungle.
Yeah, there's a lot of emphasis put on the fact that they really don't want to give this Ench a good start.
You see he started the Sentry, so he might just insta-deward the small camp, because this kind of happens every game. Yeah, you're going to see he dewards it instantly. And unfortunately, Collapse does not have the Midas queued as of now. He has treads with his Gloves of Haste.
We'll get there, you know.
So we'll see. Last time he died, I think, twice or 3 times, and then he had the Midas, so, you know, maybe this lane needs to go good for him.
Trying to pull this one back for the moment. Y pushes Mira away, but we'll be able to get that pull through. And as we turn our sights towards the mid lane, this will be another interesting one to watch. If Toronto Tokyo is able to get out of this that well. Doesn't quite connect there on the Remnant, but does at least secure that range creep.
Something nice that happened in the top lane was Maposhka did the
Oh, wait a minute now. Yadro, this isn't supposed to happen. Can't go up to the north, and Maposhka trying to interrupt. TP's out. Oh, ZQ, dude, if he found him there. A couple punches, that would have been rough. Why? Chased as a lot of action across both of the lanes, and that is just going to be first blood. Collapse getting off to a better start than we saw from him before.
Yeah, it's a really strong lane. Razor
Maposhka in turn. Both 5s dying.
These lanes are a lot faster than the last game. Both teams have a lot more aggressive heroes. They have Marcy Razor on one side, and they have Marcy Razor on one side, and then Earthshaker Dawn. So a lot of kill threat, a lot of stuns. The supports are probably the ones who are going to die to these heroes, because both of the cores are kind of, they have these defensive spells, and Refraction and the Time Jump, or Time Walk.
Right. I do love the play here from Mira as well. Now body blocking the small camp, knowing it's been dewarded, and then committing the Sentry to the hard camp, whereas, you know, typically you have to get the body up there. So why just sad times as an Ench.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do all that much. Takes that enchant, maybe it eventually takes over a lane creep or something, because there is nothing anywhere nearby for him to go and take over.
What's really frightening, though, is that, you know, game 1 they gave up the Chen, and now game 2 they're giving up the Razor. And watching the last couple series from Team Spirit, the Razor's one of the last heroes I'd really want to be giving up. I feel like Collapse has been very dominant on the hero, and so let's say the LGD do win this game, and if they do meet later in this tournament, I feel like they've already shown they have such great options versus some of the best openers Team Spirit have had.
Does a little time dilation and a chase down. And yeah, it is something to consider, is like the implications for this. You would imagine that both of these teams, even if they drop down, will anticipate that they might fight the other one in the grand finals eventually. Obviously, Astro and OG gonna have something to say about that, but very strong as the Fissure block off into taking the bounty room, but XinQ is going to take a lot of damage here from Maposhka, as we'll have to walk back to lane slowly but steadily.
Something they've done, though, is they are only letting one through at a time. They banned the Chen in this game, they banned the Razor in the last game, so they don't want to give up both. They respect them as a combo, but individually they think they can deal with them.
Dawnbreaker sitting top of the CS right now, but Yadro not having a terrible time. You compare that to the Void. Faceless Void, that is, and he's only got 11 last hits so far against this dual offlane combo.
They picked the Faceless Void to deal with the Razor because the idea is that you jump out of link range and you break the link so you don't lose as much damage. But in these types of lanes, especially because of how long the cooldown on this is, if you get pressured early, it's hard to actually still come back versus Razor. He's a really strong laner, and it's just difficult to beat him in the lane.
Nice little deny there for Ame. Some sort of recompense for the frustration he's been put through. Picks up the boots after. And you can see Zinq making the rotation over. That means no water rune for Toronto Tokyo, as does not have his supports rotating to help him.
Something interesting is as the Zinq.
He does have Dissimilate. Toronto Tokyo not even feeling like he has to pop it, actually.
Is all the storms. He's kind of popped up in the last couple days of the tournament, especially I think group stage, the last day of group stage. He was very popular. But I think I've seen a different build every single game from the storms. Some go Soul Ring, some go Tread, some go Brown Boots, even Witchblade, Kaya Sanj, Lincoln's Rush I think I saw in one of the games. And it's really interesting to see that every player has a take, because now the old build with 6-0 talismans is kind of dead.
Good.
How unfortunate.
So now that everyone sees their brains and think of real items to buy, it's cool to see all the different variations on the build.
Well, Dawnbreaker can still play a little bit just whatever the heck you want to, because this hero still seems so strong when you can get off to a good start, and so far has been doing just that. Mira, as finally Y has found a creep, is going to try and put some damage back onto him. In the meantime, Collapse gets a nice link off, and with the chase down onto Y, will it be enough for a kill? The heal keeps him alive, just barely there.
The Mud Golem's going to time out.
The Mud Golem is going to time out. Poshka tries to get away from the top side of the map, and it looks like he will, but they can't quite, on the bottom side of the map, get the Hurl Boulders finish onto the Marcy.
That was so close. The Storm's walking up base. I wouldn't be surprised if he probably TP's bot to kill this Razor. It'll eliminate a lot of pressure from his Void, and the Earthshaker's going to already walk to mid and take the lane. Yeah. So we're going to see a rotation.
There's an enchant there as well, ready for this. So yeah, here it comes.
Collapse, not sensing danger, and they're going to chase him down. Gets the link off, but it won't matter. Nothing to say. Makes the big move down bottom.
Some kind of mid player there, Gunner?
The biggest worry right now is Nothing to Say has a camp here, so he feels like confident to stay. He's not wasting his time. And if Collapse is too greedy and he teleports back, he can die again.
Zinq with Toronto Tokyo moving in.
I guess it's not free in that mid lane, huh?
No.
That's only for mid players, I guess. They're the ones that can't die here, it seems.
You give the supports the lane for the XP. They have to take 50% XP. Some creeps get denied here and there. The gold's for the mid.
Right.
We're still the cores.
That's fair. You also give up your life, but that's okay. Nobody minds. Just the support.
We'll see Nothing to Say go back for the Soul Ring. The Faceless Void finished his treads, so he's actually going to be a lot stronger in the lane, a lot more pressure. He's maxing his Time Walk. Void is also one of the heroes that I think has a lot of different skill builds. You'll see some people max their bash first. Some people will put stats into time dilation. Some will max it. So it's a lot of these heroes, once you start playing them more and more, you start to see a lot more variation.
Solar Guardian into bottom lane, Collapse there, and does not have a way out. So Faith Bian showing off the first instance of that ulti, and a little bit of help from the Snare Creep set that up.
I love how it's like a layered assault onto this Razor, right? You have the TV from the Storm, and then hit 6 on the Dawnbreaker, come down here and get the kill. Now even potentially onto Mira as well as he gets low, but...
Oh, rebounds onto a creep, and comes in for the finish. This hero is strong.
Yeah, and then let's just say, you come back to this lane, that Chrono's going to appear soon too.
Yeah, the way a lot of teams want to deal with these ranged offlaners is they want to sit in the lane and they just kind of exist and they deny creeps and they hit you. But they're bad versus bringing heroes to their lane. They don't really have stuns, they don't have defensive. The Vipers, the Razors, the Death Prophets, when you bring the heroes to their lane, they die.
Zinq up on the top. They're going to find a nice little avenue in towards them. Makes a path, and then Yadro finishes them off. So they do get another return, but it's not onto one of those cores as they've already left on the Dawnbreaker.
This is a really hard lane for Earthshaker to get XP or gold in the side lanes. Both of either the Void or the TAT has traps set up. Void has his jump, and so anytime he walks up to a creep wave, he's going to get gone on. So I would be surprised if he probably skips Blink first, goes for a shard, just to feel more comfortable playing with a lower net worth.
I think as well versus the Clockwork, it's better to go that build as well.
You can walk out of cause with the shard, I believe, if you fissure.
You can do some sneakier plays, and then of course, you know, you don't want to get scouted before your Blink Dagger as Shaker get wrecked by a Clockwork. TP down bottom once again.
And why? Caught. Not able to stop that Remnant. Collapse. Jumped on half HP already. Does have stick charges. Gets the rebound. Tries to run away, but it won't happen. Nothing to say with the last bit of mana there. Finishes the kill. That's that Soul Ring value.
These are the rotations you want from Storm. Generally going to your safe lane is really easy for kills just because of how aggressive offlaners are right now. And anytime you kill them, it feels the best. If you kill this TA, he's going to respond, go to the jungle. He'll maybe lose 200, 300 gold, but the Razor, a Razor with a bad game.
Big chance here. They spot him, Ame, but gets a time dilation, had the vision. Chrono after onto 2. The Solar Guardian follow-up, it's going to hit onto all of them.
This is beautiful.
Team Spirit lose a couple. Maposhka's going to die in his own cogs.
So there's a Radiant Observer Ward inside the outpost, and it spotted the fact they were trying to camp the high ground there and sit with the Marcy and the Clockwork and get this kill. So they just actually balled it up, walked over with Engine, knew what they were coming into.
Oh my god.
It's really nice connections. LGD is a very good team at grouping up. They always get their heroes in the right place at the right time. They get a little abuse out of that because of the Dawnbreaker. He's able to be on the other side of the map as a global hero, but even Nothing to Say is always at this bot lane, always ready for these kills, these fights, and even again, it looks like they're going to walk to bot.
And this max time walk too, like how do you pressure as the, well, I guess that's how you bring Toronto Tokyo, right? Now try and punish.
Oh, this is not good though for him. The rest of the team is showing up. Can they kill Ame in time? It doesn't look like it. Y shows up, they dispose, good stun, but the Fisher's a bit better.
No jumps on the Void Spirit.
Toronto Tokyo hoping to get out. Does he have a way away? They have a Fairy Fire, but still a little bit of a cooldown to assimilate, trying to get up onto the high ground. Poshka gets the pushback onto both of them. And Toronto Tokyo still hanging out. Collapse shows up. Maybe a chance, Nothing to Say. He's low on mana. Toronto Tokyo trying to hunt.
Oh, the tomato trying to clap him.
Not quite there. They can't get it in time. Right, and lasted so long. Fake Bian shown up now also. Collapse still running into all of them. LGD is low, but nobody is dying. It's only Team Spirit that's gonna fall. Fake Bian finds them both. They have a jump, but can they get out? Toronto Tokyo has to use it in a second. But Assimilate tries to hunt. Can he escape? The Hammer and all jumps, but Astral step away. Q, no more Fissure ready.
You can see the last game, they stopped chasing before they died to tier 2. Maybe a little trauma from the previous game, but still such a great fight from LGD.
Yeah, that vision again, right? Up on the pillar. Last time it was the outpost, this time it's the high ground. They see everything there. They know that this Clockworks are like running in circles. And I feel like Team Spirit almost got baited by the fact that Mapochka was surviving, you know? They're like, oh yeah, we can come back in. Toronto Tokyo was just there bottling, trying to re-engage after the beautiful cogs there that saved him in the first place. But perhaps it was time to just abandon. Yeah, Mapochka, he realizes, so gets the sentry down. Will at least remove that vision, but it's already done the damage.
At the same time, silently, Yotaro farming top. He's had this kind of lane, this entire corner of the map all to himself. Jungle, lane, anything he wants. It's all traps here. So he feels really protected. But the biggest question is when he's going to start involving himself in the game. It looks like he's going to go just for a blink first, which is a little unusual for carries. A lot of the time they'll go for Deso just to keep you know, playing their own game, and the blink is more for the team.
Yeah.
But he probably feels a lot of pressure on the based on like the Razor's game.
And you know, he doesn't really have that big semi-carry pool either that we've seen obviously come into prominence a lot during this tournament as well. So getting something like a Templar Assassin and building into something a bit more aggressive could be something to help with that situation.
And they kind of sense that, hey, there's this TA that's been farming away. They're going to go up top into the jungle and try and find Yatoro. They spot him there. Fisher's out. Solar Guardian is after. Yatoro burned through a couple refraction instances. They move on in, and the big jump from downtown. This was all set up perfectly. LGD knew exactly where they wanted to go.
You know, this is just the saddest Clockwork in the world because he's level 5, no hookshot there to maybe assist and try and save. Too low in XP.
Dude, LGD, they are looking real good. And Toronto Tokyo, the smoke, he's gonna find an Enchantress. One of the most annoying heroes to find that just gets the heal off, but they'll bring enough heroes to blow her up.
We're going to see Toronto go for his Axe build that he's been going for the past couple games on Void Spirit, which I like. You're going to see that LGD is not really going to build these defensive items too early. I think Nothing to Say is going to go for Kaya San, so no Dispel, just a stat resistance. Ame is going for Mask of Madness and Maelstrom. Even Faith Beyond's just going for a Desolator, and I assume a Shard. So the Silence is going to be really powerful soon.
Now, That Deso build is very scary if you can find him at the start of a fight.
And speaking of builds, we see Collapse. He is going for the Midas.
Yeah.
He does have the 4 deaths.
Yeah,
He's
4
ready up for the Midas.
It's a true combo, right? Deaths into Midas into a eventual BKB refresher. Just might take a bit longer than you'd hope.
Well, and I will say that, you know, as much as LGD has taken early leads and then just like suffocated out the game, Team Spirit also a team that in the DPC was known for falling behind early and then starting to play for a later game timing. The question is, can they do that same type of style of game against LGD?
They got 6 on the clock, where they got Blink Dagger on the Templar Assassin, they got Void Spirit with the jumps. If there is a time, it's coming soon. They're all set in this mid lane. Team Spirit, they can't sync up enough. They don't have what it takes to take this fight. That damage from the edge creep, just such a good, it's just like, you just put it in front, you know? Just get in there.
At the same time, LGD is starting to hit their timings. The Shaker, even though he died twice early, is almost at the Blink Dagger. He decided to go for it. Faith Beyond finishes Deso. I think he might just take this Ancient stack right now, or stack it again.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, this is really, truly disgusting when you see how quickly you can farm on this hero. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's level 1, by the way.
Only level 1.
Just want to point that out, you know.
So for the side of Spirit, the Void Spirit level 12 is a really big timing for him. The way that it increases the cast range, it decreases the cooldown, increases the it kind of just, everything's just a bigger number. And the difference between a level 11 and 12 Void Spirit is really massive. But the hardest part of this hero is getting him levels without getting him kills. He doesn't jungle that fast. He doesn't really push our lanes that well because he has to use his, you know, his aggressive spell to run away. And so the biggest thing is right now is probably getting the TA involved with the Void Spirit just so he gets his levels.
Well, they certainly have opportunities to turn around if the situation comes from LGD and they keep pushing these aggressive maneuvers, like particularly if the Solar Guardian comes out early in the fights. But trying to make these aggressive plays with a Solar Guardian being available could be a concern for Team Spirit unless they're able to somehow find Faith Beyond first.
It's really nice how LGD's moving. They're kind of like flowing around the map. They're going from objective to objective, but it never feels like they're rushing it. They take the camps, they push heroes out of the jungle they're in. So Spirit's always kind of like moving away, and at the same time, LGD's able to just take every tower. They take it mid, they're going to take top, they're going to take this big jungle now, and even maybe a kill.
Oh, that was pretty good from Mapochka. Granted a free one, and nothing to say, interrupted. Can he get out of there? Has the mark damage on the second jump, nothing to say, trying to get out. Oh, that was close. All set up by Mapochka on the clockwork, but nothing to say. Able to escape.
What I really like about what they're doing too is that Faith Beyond's sitting mid here on the Dawnbreaker, and we've talked about this idea of like, you know, you're kind of an offlane hero that gets to act like a Spectre, you get to farm until you have your chance to ulti is up top. They are going to run to Y here.
Yeah, and this one, I don't think he has quite the same escape patterns as the old Storm Spirit there.
But, you know, he's up there dying. That's okay, because like, you sort of get to build off of the innate survivability of a Faceless Void by allowing him to also farm in a slightly riskier position because you have the Solar Guardian. You have so many opportunities to get out of the fights and delay and extend that they still have to be worried about a potential gank on the bottom lane. They can't even gank the Storm Spirit up top, and they don't want to jump the Dawn mid.
That's the second pushback on the cogs that nothing to say has had. A little unfortunate for him then, but will still manage to... Ooh, okay. Thought he could get out, but...
You also see the tips come out from Collapse and Ame, because I think both of them realized they've just sat here the whole game. Look at their heat maps. Ame's here. I think Collapse may have had to walk to the lane once, so his will be a little different. But they're both just kind of sitting here. Ame pushes the lane, hits the jungle, Collapse collects the lane. Collapse has a Midas, though, so he kind of makes up for these jungle camps he's not getting.
Right.
The BKB is coming soon. His game isn't as bad as I would think it would be when he's 1-4. So a nice recovery, but again, it's kind of allowing LGD to hold the whole map. And Spirit's just kind of forced under their towers. They're playing backwards. They're constantly the ones having to run away. And when you're the ones running away, sometimes you feel pressure to like make a call, make a fight, because especially for supports.
Yeah.
They feel bad when nothing's happening on the map.
Yeah, because you're not doing anything. Sometimes your hero can't grow at all in these situations.
Whenever you're a core, your farming creeps, you feel happy. You hear the sound of gold. You hear your last hit number goes up, your gold goes up, but a support...
Are all our arguments starting games? Is this what's happening right now? I'm starting to like understand it. We just need to bridge that gap, you know?
We need to make it a team.
There it is.
We need to play as one.
Oh my god. Wow, it took a long time playing to realize this.
It's all good.
And so now LGD take this bot tier 1. This is a really big tower. Even though it's really difficult, it allows access to the enemy tri-camp. So now Ame's going to take these Ancients, he's going to maybe block the camp or just keep farming here. And the goal, this is when the gold lead starts going up. When you take this bottom tower and you're able to actually play on the map, people sit under towers way more from the enemy team. They're not able to hit their own jungle, and you kind of end up only getting like a third of the map for your team.
Because before this point, they were using the tier 1 to just sort of sit and farm everywhere for LGD and like relying on the Storm Spirit TP. Even just like Earthshaker, of course, can cover such a good distance from these tier 1s. But now, you know, they are getting out there. They're going to limit that farm with Spirit, but it's also the riskier part of the map to play.
This is the big thing, though. They just got the Aghanim Scepter completed. Ame, does he realize it? He walks in, the silence, round 1, round 2, Solar Guardian. It's not going to be quick enough. They find the finish, and Faith Bian now chased. Mira does have disposed, but the shard is pretty good. They pull him back in, but the echo! Oh, the blink! It was good from ZQ, but wasn't good enough. Yadro up on the high ground, has a couple more punches. There's a mix-up, they'll collapse. Able to survive, but nothing to say. Takes him down after.
He had something to say about that miss, you know.
Oh, true.
He's coming back into the haste rune.
They chase in.
Just to cut the wave.
Yeah, nothing to say. Can't do anything else there. They clean up why. It was a good echo, but it was a better timing, and that was what Team Spirit were waiting for.
Well, they crossed the river, you know. Things get a little bit more dangerous on that dire side of the map.
They were doing, they were making a move with LGD heroes. They were walking to this big the big jungle top, and you can see 4 heroes are all in this top rune area, and they leave Ame bot. I think he was really confident. They had no way to kill him. The Marcy doesn't really go on him. The clock only stunned him for a second or so, but this Void Spirit eggs, I don't think they were expecting it.
No, they definitely were not ready for this point. I mean, maybe they knew that it could be an opportunity for them to go for it since he has shown it before, but you know, you're relying on this Solar Guardian to help you with the time walks and get you to the extra survivability. So exactly what Team Spirit needed in this game. You know, similar. Oh, here we go again though. I
Collapse.
This guy.
A little happy about it, but yeah, nothing to say. In some trouble now. They bring him down. ZinQ dead.
Did they still not know about it?
You know, the excuses starting to come up a little bit empty on it. Team Spirit.
That so reminds me of the Boom game, where like they started making these plays again before the Solar Guardian was back up. You know,
this is the scary thing where LGD, you can see nothing to say. He has an Aghanim's queued. Faith Beyond is working on the BKB and Ame, but both of them are so far, and they kind of relied on their spells to be able to cast their spells. You know, Faith Beyond does have the BKB during Starbreaker with Shard. Ame has his jump, but this Ag.
I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough. Y is found, and Mira comes in to bring him down, and that is enough for the Blinkle. Miposhka up on the high ground, and it's looking like it's Roche time. They head on in, kill off the creep. Team Spirit in a decent position. Faith Beyond wanting to tempt fate. Yeah, they're actually not going to go for it.
They used both jumps on a Faceless Void Illusion that he got, so he lost a lot of mana, no cooldowns, and it looks really scary for them. But this has been really nice for Spirit, the way that they get their item timing and they instantly make this move. You see them spoken to the Tri-Camp, they know that LGD are trying to get every little inch out of the map, but these like 5 kills in a row, it's looking really bad now.
And delaying that time of LGD, they can't get this Aegis potentially for a Storm Spirit even. You know, you got Dawnbreaker and the Ench, you could probably get in there if you had got a couple more kills in that top area of the map. So delay that Aegis, give the time for the BKB for Collapse to come out on this Razor as he's just finishing it now, and he suddenly has a game out of this offlane.
Yeah, BKBs are both finished on the Spirit Core, the Razor, and the TA, and LGD are still about 2,000 gold away total from both of their cores. So it's a little scary right now in terms of taking this fight. So I think LGD is probably going to take this Tri-Camp and even go Roach.
They got to be careful, though, because Team Spirit, they're wrapping around right now. The smoke up with 5, and it looks like with that tower down, they're going to head right into that area. Faith Beyond the one that's going to be first contact. We'll see if they can connect. Need to drop a ward up on the high ground. Miposhka doesn't break smoke. He just heads out of vision there.
There is 4-step on Y as well.
They see him. Faith Beyond heading through. ZinQ also available. They find the backline. Shaker's gone. Faith Beyond in trouble. ZinQ, he's got to run. Can the rest of Team Spirit group up with him? He might be a little bit too separated from the rest of his team. Collapse trying to play intercept, and it looks like they'll be able to get to this post to get Miposhka out of trouble.
It's not the worst. Faith Beyond does have buyback as well, so if Team LGD decide to take the fight on this Roshan, they're going to be able to beat 5 heroes instantly. Maybe a Chrono follow-up, but it's so scary for these heroes to walk up into this Void Spirit.
There's also some concerns, I'd say, this draft with the Chronosphere in general, right? Like, you know, we talked a little bit about during the draft, but the actual damage going to the Chrono is not really spectacular in this match. They have follow-up and control after, so it can be a setup for other plays like, you know, Starbreakers as well as just like Echo Slams and everything in general, but overall, there's no like fear factor factor, I feel like, when you get chronoed.
And you can see this too. The Storm decides after queuing up that Aghanim's even buying a component that he's going back for BKB now. So nothing to say, realizing I can't go for that rushed item. Need an answer for Toronto Tokyo, because these are going to be the moments that decide the game.
I think it shows a lot of experience when you kind of know that you really need a BKB, especially, and you have part of another item and you just have to go back and change it up.
Yeah, you just made a mistake in the end. You know, you anticipated something that never came.
And it's a lot better, you know, to make the BKB 1,000 gold shoulder rather than waiting an entire 4,000 gold for the Ags and never being able to fight.
That's the old sunk cost there, I think you're talking about. As they head on into the pit, Team Spirit. Roche down to about a quarter HP, and LGD not in a position, nor in a position to really be able to fight.
Roche won't be stopping.
But they claim it, pick it up for Yadaro, and Team Spirit trying to push this to game 3 here as they're going to head in towards the mid lane.
This game's still really close. I think LGD, even Void is actually... Some people say it's very bad versus Aegis or good, like Wraith King, right? But if you're able to kill the TA once and you chrono on top of her and she doesn't get her BKB off, you're able to just kill her a second time instantly. The question is the first
You're
time.
a glass half full kind of guy, huh? We'll just kill her once, you know, without the chrono. It'll be fun.
Exactly.
We have Echo Slam. We have a Storm Sphere with pull.
Thank you.
For silence.
Hello, how you doing, sir? They're feeling like they're going to be able to find a quick one on him. And Storm on the bottom side of the map can't really come on in to help this pressure at all.
He's really scared of a TP. There's 2 or 3 heroes that if they TP first and he gets caught, the others will follow up and TP and catch him. So he's kind of just going to wait to blow up the wave with a Remnant, and then he's going to zip out as fast as he can. Or walk.
He saw him. I'm sure he's fine.
He wants one TP, right? He wants TP.
He's hoping for the TP.
Yeah.
But you're going to see Faith Bian is about to get his BKB. I think Ame just finished his. So there's a good chance that there's going to be a really big clash because everyone's going to have BKBs. And I think they're all 9 seconds still, actually. So it's going to be a pretty insane fight.
Well, they've got a couple things coming out here as well, though, for Team Spirit, the gem from Aposhka, so perhaps something they could get back. But this is them trying to cement that total control over the map right now and stop that forward division, because when you're trying to get back into this game, you've got Chronosphere, you've got Storm Spirit, you even have an Earthshaker there. That forward vision is what's really going to help.
BKB finished on the Storm, and it looks like Collapse is going for a Halberd, which is a little different than his other games. He usually goes for more of the... I think he would go like a Plate Mill to Refresher. Both games I saw him play it earlier. But he has the Halberd and the Blink Dagger and the Refresher queued up, so a little different. I think he's probably playing to protect his team from the Chrono.
Right.
If he gets the Halberd on the Void.
It's also not bad if you get it, but, you know, just extra evasion for himself too.
Yep. A lot of static resistance is really good versus Earthshaker because of how it forces him to click his spells really fast rather than playing for his own chain stunning perfectly with your 1.5 seconds between each spell.
Smoke up is 5 now, and LGD, they're heading actually through the mid lane.
I think they're going to look for this top jungle.
Yeah, they've seen Yadaro down bottom, right? And they're hoping to find something up there.
But they might kind of turn around if Mirror goes to push this mid lane, or just wait on the mid lane.
So be careful to quite spot him there. No vision up on this high ground. Why? Runs into Collapse. They see it, drop the ward, but it's not actually vision. Oh, needs one step more. That's a little unfortunate. I've never seen that one.
It looks like it's on that top step.
Right.
But they're going to all walk away. It doesn't feel that bad. And if anything, these plays, the Aegis is running out, right? There's only 2 minutes left on the Aegis for Spirit. So LGD doesn't feel terrible. But at the same time, they want to hit these smokes on their timings. Everyone does. You don't care about the Aegis. You have to make a reason to fight, make an excuse to fight. And everyone's kind of missing it out on this game.
That, like you said, missing those timings there. Definitely frustrating.
E-Blade is also almost finished for Toronto on this Void Spirit. So if he catches probably the Earthshaker, I would think the easiest because of the no BKB. But even if he catches anyone with the BKB, they'll die before they get it off.
Nothing to say down bottom here. They saw him walking over a couple of traps, knew he had the BKB.
Forces it out, jumps very... Oh! Maposhka! You god! Nothing to say, tries to get out of there. They don't quite connect on the rocket flare. He blew it. He still gets out of there. Storm, what a ridiculous hero.
Shades of the Null Talismans with that jump range.
Yeah,
I thought he had no mana.
So I think that the trap, the trap vision doesn't see that far.
No, he's trying. The trap vision showed the path.
Yeah.
So he just kind of made an assumption of where he would land, and he hit the hook.
I tell you, that thing's not that long these days. That's going to be like max range right there from a post.
A really nice try, but these teams are dodging each other so well.
Well, they take advantage of it, though. Sure, you didn't get the kill on the Storm, but you know there's no BKB. He is not going to come into this fight if you jump into that mid lane, and that obviously means the other cores don't want to commit to it either. So using the flare, using the jump as well from here, they're going to grab another quick pick.
Yeah, and like you said, the fact that he had to walk all the way back means that there's a long timing here where Storm's not able to play Dota, and that's going to set him up to take this tier 2 tower. Team Spirit still, the gold lead, it's only 1,000. The position advantage feels like it's in their favor, but I feel like I've seen so many of these LGD games where they can pull
the supports in this game are taking a lot of beating.
Yeah.
Zinq has 6 deaths, and Y has 7, so it's a lot of it is on them, which is kind of unfortunately for them, it's allowing their cores though to play the game. They're not getting caught, they're not dying, they're jungling, and that's why this gold lead is kind of being similar, because LGD is spreading out on the map. You see Nothing to Say is constantly bot pushing these lanes. Omni's kind of going between his tri-camp and top. And Spirit is kind of having to group up because of how much catch there is on LGD and how fast their heroes can group. It's allowing LGD to play a little more spread.
A lot of that gold on the side of Team Spirit, though, it is funneling directly right up to Yadoro. So maybe that's the one that they could try and target down at the start of these fights.
The big thing right now is the Aegis has expired and there's a Chrono. Void is so good in these kind of one-to-one matchups where you're the strong hero and there's one other strong hero because you have such a long time to kill that one guy that if this T goes down, there's such a big deficit, I think, because LGD is way more balanced.
You know?
Yeah, LGD is a balanced team. They're all kind of sharing farm. They're getting their timings kind of at the same time, whereas Spirit's all their eggs are in one basket.
Well, the smoke comes out from all 5 of LGD. There is vision on the high ground by the rest of Team Spirit, and LGD also placing one up on the high ground. Oh, they take it away actually there. So Team Spirit a little separated with Razor, slightly far away. Dire scanning, realizing they're not in that part of the jungle
They
at
think
least.
they were right behind.
Yeah.
That scan was basically where they had just been standing.
Yeah, and you can see Team Spirit, I mean, they're so aware that this was going on. They're not going to get caught out by it.
According to the theory of Gunner, someone's going to die pushing mid. Is that correct?
They're all going to be looking. You can see they're kind of on this hill, but I think they're too scared. Mid lane's a lot of team fights, so if LGD might think they need the jump to start the fight, so they don't want to be the ones to get jumped on mid, but they'll smoke up and jump you on mid. And at the same time, you can see Spirit, they're going to smoke because they also want the jump. I think both of these teams are feeling like if they're the ones who initiate the fight, they're going to win the fight.
And this is the same place that they were at before, and they see everything. Jump forward, but they don't connect. He gets the BKB on TA, keeping him alive. E-Blade ready, just walks in for the finish. Can they bring him down all the way? No. Yadoro stays alive and for only a moment before he's brought back down. And with Toronto Tokyo trying to zip out the 4-step, it's not enough. He too will fall. The echo on in, connects on collapse. It wasn't just the computer that we're having some trouble there. Team Spirit as a whole just got ran over.
Yeah, and again, it's so important in this mid-game part of the match to always have that buyback on these position 4s. The same was there as well for Mir, so, you know, if this fight happened to occurred on their side, they're going to that similar buyback. But, you know, sometimes you see these fights occur and you don't have that buyback. Maybe you don't get that couple extra kills at the end there, thanks to Zinq being back in the fight.
And that fight gets all the items now. Nothing to Say is going to finally finish that Axe. He won it so much earlier. Ame is going to be half of his Scotty done. And the Faith Bian also has the Blink Dagger, which worked out really well. He blinked right after the Chrono, was able to stay on the TA. They bursted him down, and he didn't even get a hit off, I think, on the Void.
Well, 4,000 gold lead, and we talked about the way that Chronosphere can be so effective when they don't have the Aegis. Now, the only unfortunate thing for LGD is that Roche, 70 seconds, how long we got?
40.
It's going to be a minute and a half, so everybody's going to be back alive, and Chrono also will be back up again.
Mir is also working on BKB right now. I think the big thing is these BKBs, they seem really good at the time, and you need them.
What a turn.
But the worry is Void is such a good hero versus BKB. You have Bash, you have Chrono, even the Dawn I think might go for a Basher at some point after this AC, and all their damage goes through BKB between those two heroes, and it's not going to stop anything.
And that AC is going to be so nice there as well this game, right? Razor, TA as well. You're not finding these plays off the cogs perhaps.
I think also once Ame finishes as a Scotty, he can get baited really easily. They have the healing from the Dawnbreaker, but more importantly, they have the turnaround from the Shaker or the Storm. They have a lot of these AoE stuns, AoE damage, and Team Spirit's going to have to play very split.
It's very hard to find those perfect fights, particularly when you know, you need to kind of have one of those heroes that goes in, and they don't have the best save on Team Spirit.
Yeah, neither of these teams really have save outside of this Dawnbreaker heal. It's kind of, you get gone on, you die, that's it. No, you know, no Oracles, no Omni Knights, none of these Dazzles. Everyone's taking the damage that they're getting.
So still set up in their own jungle, Team Spirit. The only hero nearby that's sort of spottable is going to be Y. And Roche respawn in just a couple seconds.
You can see though, missing that gem. You know, that ward being there, spotting everything Team Spirit are up to right now, and they're coming in.
I do see that the Roche is up.
You see why he has buyback and he has the gem, but I think he's more importantly going to use his body to try to force them to go on him and enable his team to get the vision.
Fissure, they know there's vision up here. Eaten through the hammer, Miposhka takes down the high ground ward.
Shios is going to be the next item for nothing to say. Ame is going to be finishing the Scotty and probably TP top. They saw the Roche respawn. It's second Roche. This is the big Roche. This is the Roche that kind of solidifies the state of the game. And this is a really good Scotty game. It's good versus both the Tia and the Razor. It kind of lets them, it slows them down and lets this Razor not walk all over you.
It's done. It's there. Chrono's ready. He's got himself the shard as well, just in case things go a little bit south in these fights. LGD looking like they can press forward here whenever they want.
Now, this is a scary time for sure. They're going to get together, and it looks like with the butterfly, maybe that's the point where they decide to go for a smoke play.
I mean, Y was sitting there with the empty slot, so yeah, the second courier's there, the smoke is in, Solar Guardian set, ready to go.
Collapse is hoping that he gets his refresher right now. I think he's about 400 gold off, but unfortunately for him, I think the fight's going to happen sooner.
Y stepping forward, wants to scout if there's anybody up on this high ground. The smoke breaks right away. They spot him. Jump onto Mira, jumps away, dispose before Fissure, before anything. Mira under control. Miposhka jumps in. The pull onto 3 with the Chrono, but the E-Blade, he can be disarmed. He's going to try and back out after. Miposhka cogs down. Yadro turns to fight. He gets the sidekick, but it's not enough. They have to jump away as the BKB was wearing off. Collapse runs in, and they find him. Ame's in. Solar Guardian for the pull. Back onto all of them. Is it enough? Triple kill for Bian. Dawnbreaker is so strong as they chase into Collapse. Can they find anything else? There is no TA for 90 seconds. Collapse, disarms, onto Dawnbreaker, but that hero's still very good. Ultra kill, Bian coming for one more. The E-Blade, nothing to say, tries to back out. He's so freaking low. The cogs, the Rampage, Bian, you're not real. You're not normal. You're freaking unreal.
Oh, we've noticed the patch of the offlaner, and I feel like Bian has got that same credit for becoming a carry, but between the Timber and now the Dawnbreaker and now a Rampage, getting double Rampage in fact, I think he should be in that conversation as well.
That was too good.
Collapse is trying to go back in.
Dude, give him
a refresher.
Did you not learn before? Bian losing all of his damage, but I don't know if it's gonna matter. The delayed triple Rampage, no, Collapse! He stands tall, Y tries to move on in, Collapse up on the high ground, the miss uphill, not a miss uphill twice.
He places the ward while dancing around the Razor.
The bloodlust will not be sated.
Well, they like that.
A nice little Rampage there. That was a great reinitiation, I think 2 or 3 times from nothing to say. Ame gets gone on and he goes in and pulls, then he goes out, then he gets another a 4-man pull. And just the follow, the LGD, the way they keep kiting the fights back, they wait for their cooldowns, they constantly bait their health pool, their lives, even the buybacks on some of their heroes. It's just really nice to watch.
Yeah, even that initial TP out, right? Like Bian going back to the fountain and coming back in for this play right here with a humongous pull into the AoE damage from Bian.
Jeez, he did so much in that fight, and you see kind of the problem that Team Spirit have when everything gets all messy and they have these like big AoE stuns. It's just too difficult to deal with. Hookshot in, maybe a chance for step. Oh, but the micro with the edge. Shard. Wait, there's still shard on the ground. ZQ moves on in, tries to pick it up, then 4 staffs out. The rebounds away. Mira still capable of escaping, but Chrono is back up again. TP coming from the Void Spirit. It's not enough for the save. Tries to assimilate to get out. Toronto Tokyo chased, but won't be found.
Well, I might miss with every swing, but I'll take 900 damage from a ball lightning slicing through that Templar stats, and that kind of helps.
Yeah, thankfully, Y got the Aegis. He bought back in that previous fight to get them the win, so now he's able to, you know, bait for the fight, bait for Void, and he'll have a second life.
He'll collapse, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is mine now.
I actually think he's going to just walk up into the base and start hitting heroes and hope they go on him.
There's a chance. The very unafraid deer. There's not many heroes to hit him, though, as 3 are still dead on Team Spirit with no buyback. Collapse 8 seconds away. But LGD, they're cleaning up the buildings.
It's been a tough second half of the game, I'd say, for Toronto Tokyo, right? Like going into this E-Blade build with the Aghanim Scepter, obviously you're sort of like a one-shot opportunity, and the BKBs just absolutely ruin you, and not getting the opportunity to really contribute a lot in these engagements.
I think it all goes down to that one fight in the tri-camp, where Spirit walk up into the tri-camp, they miss the hook, and because of that they get the big chrono, and they just kind of get wiped. And ever since then, it feels like LGD has gotten all their team fight timings, and it just seems really hard to fight into LGD right now. The way they just execute the team fights between the spells, the heroes, even their drafts, I think they draft a lot about team fighting and grouping up.
And the weakest of the team fighters on the lineup, Y, you know, he just goes in. He just walks, like, because like, what do you do in a fight, right? You might have that extra little bit of damage at the end, but you can get that after a buyback.
One of the big things about fighting is actually getting vision so that people can cast their spells, which is why a lot of teams will value like the Lycans to scout with wolves or anything to scout. Spectre as well has been in this tournament, but I think right now it's just Y using his body.
I mean, the other thing about Y is that after those couple of like staying alive throughout the entire fight, he's the same level as Toronto Tokyo. The Ench and the Void Spirit are right there, equal to each other. He's slightly ahead of them, and has gotten a ton of farm on this Ench.
Yatoro's about to be capped out. This Swift Blink is going to come out, and that's kind of it for him. And so it gets really scary once you start getting to the 6 items, and it doesn't feel like it's enough for you to win the fight. Especially because they have one spell they click on you, they click Chrono on you, and you can't play the fight.
Well, you know, if you count Collapse refreshing his Midas, BKB, and Halberd, he kind of has 6 items.
That's true.
Wraithband counts as 2 as well,
yeah,
because of the double at 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Does it count as 2 with the refresher also, or is it no? It doesn't work that.
Unfortunately, there's no active, so we'll only count it as 2 and not 4. But
got it.
I like where your head's at. The Satanic as well is going to come for Ame. It's really nice Satanic, not more so for the healing, but because of the Dispel. There's so much silence from the Void Spirit. Also the E-Blade that was casted on him in the last fight. He dodged you with the BKB, but it's going to let him like play the fights and not feel bad when his BKB is down.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. He's like BKBing to deal with an E-Blade while he's still Halberd. He's just like, man, you guys are kind of obnoxious. Like, I like his damage numbers in here.
The biggest thing for Spirit right now is you can see that anytime LGD doesn't have BKBs, they die. Right. LGD have to win the fights in these BKBs, especially because of the Void. He does so much damage and AoE damage and burst damage that nothing to say dropped to what, 100 HP last fight just to the Void. Ame instantly died the second his BKB was out. So they have only like 6 seconds or so to win these fights.
Those 6 seconds are pretty magical when they come out. A Lotus Orb finished for the Dawnbreaker. And at 40 minutes in and 23,000 gold lead, TI Champs, they're going to need a little bit of help if they want to push this to a game number 3, as LGD looks like they have taken the right stuff in this tournament, looking undefeatable.
A nice read from Nothing to Say. He was going to go for the Shivas, but after this AC got picked up by Faith Beyond, after these fights, he's going for a refresher. He just really wants to win these team fights, have these BKBs, and at the same time, Faith Beyond picks up a Lotus Orb. Probably to help Ame, probably to help himself with all these silences, help these purges. So you can see that they're all building their items to help the other people on their team, and just win these team fights. Everything is for the team fights.
It's like a little bit more oomph after the BKBs, or potentially even just giving you a little bit of space before the BKBs, right? So you can savor the most important moments.
And even on Xin Q, he's going to buy a BKB, so he's actually able to go in and stun the Void. He doesn't have to worry about getting silenced. The clockwork doesn't affect him anymore. So it's really nice how they're building in a team fight.
Well, again, the Aegis about to expire. On the Ench, not the most impactful of heroes, but that refresher done. You got to imagine that at this point, LGD not afraid of taking any fight that comes their direction.
With the 2 charges of Starbreaker, if they get like a double pull-off from the Storm too.
Oh, it's dirty. Yeah, it's not good.
Right now, I think the goal for Spirit is going to be use buybacks to outfight the Chrono, outlast the Chrono, and then be able to actually jump and kill the Dawn, the Storm, and the Earthshaker. This Void has been going down in the fights, but it generally feels you have to use so much resources that you're going to get counter-initiated and you're going to die because you won't die fast enough. So the supports are kind of the goal right now for Spirit, and without buybacks, like Toronto Tokyo has no buyback, I think no one has buybacks actually on the side of Spirit, which I think is really scary for them, especially versus Void.
And they're just going for it all, huh?
You got to just hope that you find the good fight, I guess. They have BKB on that shaker like you're talking about.
MKB also is about to be picked up by Toro. I think he's going to probably sell his boots when he gets enough gold. He drops them already for his core to pick up. So they're kind of all in on this damage to the first side before the BKBs are after.
And last game, when they were in a similar position, they went into the base. You know, they didn't really have a great way of getting vision of the pit necessarily, and so they tried to fight for the road. They tried to leave the high ground. They didn't want to give it for free, and they kind of gave up the game at that point. So Team Spirit, this time, you know, do you want to try to fight the base? Do you want to try to actually move back out there again? I feel like we've got at least has some opportunity to perhaps pop that BKB.
Actually sold his boots there, Yadaro, because he needs that extra bit of gold to actually finish off the MKB. 500 gold away.
Satanic is finished for the Void, so they're kind of hitting all their timings. The refresher on Storm, he still has 3,000 gold after buying this refresher. Faith Beyond's kind of going for the Strength Blink, which is kind of, you know, the 6th item. Every time people get the Strength Blink, you know that they're gonna lose too much gold for their roll.
That's fair.
It's an illegal item, yeah.
Well, they are getting close to that courier over there. Make sure it doesn't get dropped down.
Toro goes micro it.
Yeah,
You can micro out of the map so that it's kind of invisible and you can't see it. So he's gonna just, you know, put it on the side. I think he'll probably send it to the Radiant Secret shop because he knows they're not playing there right now.
No, he already got it.
Oh, he got it. Nice.
So MKB done, and that is the kind of timing right now. Team Spirit, smoke. They're going to push out the wave one time with collapse.
That's so scary.
They see the hammer mid. That might give the idea that they can go for something here.
I think what this play does is it gets you down here and try and lay down some traps, right? But the only problem is if you put in an Ob Sentry combo, that can give you away, so it's a bit of a catch-22 in that situation.
So right now, Razor's the only hero on Dire with buyback. So they're probably going to try to make him walk in front, get spells casted on him. Miposhka is just, he has to be in front though, because he's their initiator.
And then Arcane Rune for Storm. Yeah, that's a thing.
Wow, everyone's been playing a lot of pubs, huh? You guys?
They know what's dangerous.
At least it's not a puck.
That's true. I mean, when you're playing against it, though, Storm feels just as oppressive.
They're going to be locked in their base, and they have to hope that LGD goes too far. Maybe they only have the one chrono, they don't get the refresher shard from Roche, and they're able to use their buybacks. But again, like they don't really have buybacks. Everyone's buying out their items. It's only Razor, and Razor buying back is generally not too happy. You want both of your ults running. You want your full BKBs, like the double BKBs with the refresher.
Yeah, and it's essentially a transformation hero, you know?
His ult, you know, you have a 50% uptime, but when you die right after popping it.
Any other 25s that are coming up soon? We've got a few of them online. Definitely not Clockwork.
Definitely not Miposhka's. That is for sure.
Why is about to get it? I think he actually might take the heal.
Okay.
But he's going ag, so he's going to take the damage because he wants to carry.
Oh, we're going to get the Sproink?
We are going to get Sproink.
Do you think? I don't think we're going to make it.
There's a chance. I mean, they're waiting for Roche. That much is very clear. Keeping the creep in the pit.
They're LGD still playing safe, even though they're up almost 30,000 gold. They're still playing as 5. They're still pushing these lanes very safely because the game is not over. All these games, you lose one fight, you lose. This third Roche is the biggest throw you can do in the game. It's so much gold if it's an Ags. Even a refresher can help these team fights. If they get like a refresher on the Void or a refresher on the Razor for a third set of all spells, that's how you do lose a game. It's like a 10k swing just for getting the third Roche.
I mean, LGD have been there. They've come back in games where they're down 20k.
So I think for the side of LGD, they're probably all going to look to say buyback, get their buybacks ready for this Roche fight, and be willing to spend 5 buybacks. And the side of Spirit, they're kind of just keep buying out their items because they need these next set of items. They're so far behind. They're kind of hoping for this perfect fight to show up for them.
Step out a little bit more.
That player's going to see the Roche spawn, so they're going to know now on the side of Spirit.
It's a refresher shard on this Roche, so no eggs.
They're starting to take it. And it looks like Spirit will spot this out, but they need to get here quickly.
Clockwork's trying to give a bad angle so that it's not incredibly obvious where they are, I guess, but...
Poshka coming on in. Collapse. The fissure is there. The jump forward. They find him right away. BKB out one time. Hook jumps forward on to that Enchantress, but is it going to be enough? Collapse is stuck over here. They pull him all in. Tries to bring him down. They kill off Poshka, and now finding Collapse, destroying him. Did not stand a chance Toronto Tokyo TPs out as he knows this fight cannot work for them.
Yeah, it was actually a missed hook shot on the Void. He jumped out of the way, and that's how he went out of the middle of that engagement on the Enchantress. So hoping for that like one good opportunity to start things. Unable to grab there from Aposhka, even with the Aghanims.
And you can see Toronto went for a Blink Dagger, which is a little strange on the Void, but he feels like he needs to jump these backline supports or just jump and be able to remnant them before their BKBs. There's a lot of pressure on him in this game to just actually make the moves and make them pop their BKBs, because no one else forces BKBs, but he also can't do anything until their BKBs are down.
Yeah, and they're still holding on to 2 of them right now.
The buybacks.
And Void.
They're ready to go. They have that BKB on TA also ready, but you need some follow-up there. Clockwork about to respawn, wants to maybe go twice if they need it.
What can you do against this double chrono, though? It's so terrifying with a Shaker hiding it behind as well. They need everything off a single BKB of Yadoro.
And they're just going to give it up, it looks like. I mean, is this going to be it all? It looks like it. Team Spirit, they're going to take their chances against Mega Creeps, try and wait for that perfect fight, but LGD, I don't even know if they're going to wait for Collapse to respawn. They just might keep going here.
Why wants it?
He took the heal talent.
Yeah, he's the shard as well, you know? There's heals all over the place.
Forever. So much regen for Y, and the death by 1,000 cuts coming through. Force stab to the other side. Tier 4 towers. Hook shot in. Has another control, but doesn't quite get it. Forward. Chrono is ready. They are in some trouble. The Poshka caught. Force stab through. Tries to get away. A whole lot of zipping and zapping, but not a whole lot of responses to that one. Y, they pull him in again. LGD still looking so strong. They walk forward, find the pullback, Collapse, trying to drain the mana of Faith Bian, still pump making the Chrono, taunting in their faces. Just not at all worried. They're disarmed, but not doing any damage. Turns now onto Ame, nothing to say. It's brought down fairly low, and they do kill off Collapse.
Is this a no challenge, or what are we doing here?
They don't need it, apparently. They keep it around, they're keeping it alive, focus back and forth, they jump on in, there's gonna be the Solar Guardian for the finish, no buyback onto Toronto Tokyo, and they chase on in. Chrono finally gonna be dropped, they don't have any answers, they have nothing. Team Spirit looking to fall here, they switch on in Refresher, maybe a chance, Collapse, oh there's the Echo. Collapse is gonna fall, Chrono round 2, the TA nowhere to go, triple kill for Ame, and GG is gonna be called. LGD, they're in another grand final.